Think you got what it takes to fill your tag every time you pull that trigger? Let's find out. Check this out. All right, so we've got Craig in Kansas. He's in that typical Western Kansas hill country there. Hi, Craig. And he's carrying himself a Ruger American 270 Win. Now, I know Craig's a smart guy, but this proves it, because in this open country, in my opinion, for deer size game, you can't get a better rifle than a 270 Win. But just as importantly, he's carrying Hornady's GMXs. Now, why is that important? We'll get to that in a little bit. Craig comes over this hill, he's looking nose to nose with the big whitetail. It's out there at about 223 yards. I got the wind coming in our face. He's stalking to the wind like he should be. It's a mature buck. You're not going to argue with me on that. You can see that. Look how long the main beams are on that buck. But look at his points. He is completely busted. Is Craig going to hunt this property next year? I don't know. Is he got 3 more days, or is this the final evening of his hunt? I don't know. Are you going to shoot a deer that was one time huge but completely busted up? Craig doesn't know either, and that's why he freezes. And number 2, and more importantly, look at the angle of this buck. This buck is not giving you a classic broadside shot. Is that a problem? Would you take this shot? Would Craig take this shot? Let's find out. All right, so there was something with the situation that Craig clearly didn't like, whether it was the busted up antlers, whether it was the shot angle, I don't know. But let's say you've been waiting a long time to hunt Kansas. This is the last day of your hunt, and you want to shoot this deer. Should you be afraid of that front shoulder at this angle? Let's go find out. Now, I already let the cat out of the bag that Craig is shooting a 270 Win. And again, perfect caliber for this, but much more important. Heck, you can kill a deer this size with a 223 rim, I promise you that. So much more important than caliber is bullet selection. Let me show you something. I use these targets most often when I'm shooting a bow, but they also work in this situation to show exactly where you need to aim on that deer. Now, quartering that hard, it's almost a frontal shot. And as this shows you gotta be careful. If you let that bullet sneak up too high, you're gonna end up shooting above the lungs, and it's easy to do when the deer's facing you like that. Drop that bullet down, find the dark spot. Almost every whitetail buck, every mature whitetail buck's gonna have that dark piece of hair that comes up. Aim right at the top of that and on the inside part of the shoulder. Put a bullet in there, you're gonna drop them every time. But the key is selecting the right bullet. For the most part, now when I'm shooting a 270 Win, I'm going with like an interlock. Essentially, that's a cup and core bullet. What exactly does that mean? That means that even at slower speeds, that bullet's gonna mushroom out. So once you get out there further, let's say 300, 400, 500 yards, that bullet is still gonna perform. Now, if you're a bit more disciplined than I am and you tell yourself, I will never shoot my 270 Win more than 300 yards, then the Hornady GMX is going to work perfect for you. Where these bullets excel are in close, where the velocities are still very, very high. The closer you get to 3,000 feet per second with a bullet like this, the better they are going to perform. So let me wrap it up for you real quick. I know exactly where to aim, just above the black part on the chest. The only thing left to do is to make sure I can hit where I'm aiming, and that whitetail is going to go down every time.